comfortable?
Yes, thank you.
It was June 5th, 2002, when our next guest was taken from her home in Salt Lake City. At only 14, she has experienced more fear than many of us will ever likely endure. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
I can't imagine it's been an easy transition after 9 months with these horrible animals, as some would say.
Definitely not.
Can you explain the events that took shape during this time period?
Of course. It was a wedding ceremony that ensued shortly after when I was kidnapped. I remember thinking, I know what comes after a wedding, and that cannot happen to me. That cannot happen. It did.
It must have been a hard time.
It was the hardest 9 months of my life.
Stockholm Syndrome is common in cases like this. It isn't surprising that Rose developed a form of this syndrome during her captivity. It got its name from a bank robbery in Stockholm, Sweden, where the victims grew an attachment to and even helped their captors. It's seen as a type of unconscious coping mechanism for the victim. It's often viewed as a category of reaction formation, since it is the superficial adoption and exaggeration of ideas and impulses that are diametrically opposed to one's own.
And how does this play a factor in a situation such as Rose's?
She's a young girl in the woods. She's alone with a man who has claimed her as his own. She has an innate desire to survive. In such a situation, the mind will do amazing things to try to survive, and this actually proves a useful tactic. It's only present in about 8% of cases, but it tends to be more common when captives are consistently in contact with their captors for an extended period of time.
How in this case did she exhibit the symptoms of Stockholm Syndrome?
She had reluctance to be taken away from her captors and was worried about the repercussions they may face. She asked, what's going to happen to them? Are they going to be in trouble?
And would you say this is typical of people with Stockholm Syndrome?
Oh yes, very typical.
How long until these symptoms start to fade?
It all depends on the person and the situation. In the end, therapy is the best way out, and Rose has been responding very well to it. Stockholm Syndrome tends to react the best when complemented with family therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy.
How have you found solace with this situation?
I found it extremely comforting to reach out to others and try to spread awareness. It makes me feel like I'm helping others in some way, and I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. Because of the things I've lived through, I can help other people now. I can reach out to other victims and help them learn to be happy. Because I have actually lived through these experiences, I am able to be a voice for change. If I hadn't had this terrible experience, I'm not sure I would have cared enough about these issues to become involved.